on St. Lucie. I'm Carrie Patrick, your host, and for this segment of Eye on St. Lucie, we are focusing on City Government Week. This is a week proclaimed by our governor to be one in which we share the great news about what our city governments are doing, their impact on the community, and awareness for our community residents on occurrences and activities that they can get involved in to learn more about what city governments do for them. Joining us today are two very, very special guests and a representative of partnership between our city government and our school system. I would like to welcome Mr. Carmen Capizzuto. How are you?
Thank you, doing great.
You are the program manager for the City of Port St. Lucie.
Yes, for this particular program I am.
Okay, and Mrs. Kathleen Ems, we know her better as Kate Ems. You are our social studies curriculum lead for St. Lucie Public Schools. Welcome.
Thank you.
And this was a great opportunity. I thank you for reaching out to us and sharing this opportunity because actually Mr. Capizzuto was the one that brought this to our attention, and being the social studies curriculum lead, you immediately saw the connection to what students are learning in our classrooms, and so we saw that wonderful bridge and partnership. Now, it's my understanding that the Florida League of Cities sponsors this week each year, and it always falls in October. What is the specific week that we can look forward to here?
The Florida League of Cities City Government Week is October 19th through the 24th. So for us, for a work week, that will be the 18th through the 23rd, those are the 5 days that we'll be celebrating the City Government Week.
Okay, and so that lends great opportunities for teaching and learning in St. Lucie County, specifically within our schools. We want to find out more about what our city government does. So what are some of the opportunities that our students and our teachers will be seizing during that week?
So Carmen and I have worked together to reach out to some of the schools and have offered different opportunities for them. We have a group of our councilmen that are actually coming to some of our schools. We have representatives coming to Southern Oaks Middle, St. Lucie West K-8, Manatee Academy, Palm Point Research School, and Allapattah Flats K-8. And their civics students are going to have a chance to hear from these councilmen and vice mayor to learn more about what the City of Port St. Lucie is doing for them and how it connects to their civics curriculum. So it's going to be a really great opportunity for learning and for questions and answers between these representatives and our students.
And Kate, I've had the pleasure of working with you for several years, and you mentioned 7th grade, and everything that we do really is linked very closely to the curriculum because we want to give our children those authentic experiences to appreciate what they are learning in the classroom and how it makes the connection to their community. You mentioned 7th grade.
Yes.
And each year we have had tremendous opportunities for our children to problem solve through Project Citizen.
Correct.
And so I see that you're already paving the path for them to learn more. How's that going to work for us this year?
Well, each year our 7th graders, like you said, Carrie, are doing a project called Project Citizen. It's a class-based project in which students research local issues. They try to find a problem in their community where they feel very closely connected. They research public policy that's involved with that issue. They look to see what kinds of government are involved, what level, if it's our local government, if it's our state government, or so on. And they look to see what kind of legislation is out there and what possible solutions they can come up with. We've had many different projects throughout the years, things about drug-free zone signs in our schools. We've had partnerships with different retirement communities about our pet population in our county, the lighting of our bus stops. So our kids have found really good connections to their personal life, done these projects, found out how the government works with their problem, and then tried to come up with solutions. And our kids have done really great and actually have gone on to the final rounds of our state competition because of this. And now with this partnership with the City of Port St. Lucie, we're able to go a step further, actually have questions answered by our local governments and get their input and their experience to help our students move further.
What a great opportunity, because so many times students don't know that they have a specific office that deals with perhaps an ordinance or an issue, and now they get to meet the people firsthand in their classrooms, and it's just a tremendous opportunity, not only for them in 7th grade, but for them as they continue to move through high school and then as adults.
Right. We definitely want them to see how they can participate in our local government, and so when they become of voting age, that they're very active participants in our community.
That is fantastic.
And just to add to that, someone who went to school in this county through elementary, middle, high school, I never had this opportunity. I guess the curriculum has changed, and I think it's fantastic because I really didn't have any idea what our city does until I became involved, as an employee of the city, and then so on through college as well. That's when we actually worked on citizen level projects, was in college. The fact that it's in 7th grade now is just amazing. I think the 7th graders will probably share their experiences with their younger siblings as well to kind of get them excited. So I think this is a partnership that we're going to definitely do every year. It's really just an extension of what we do as a city to reach out into the community and to give back. Some of the things that our mayor and city council will be talking about are typical Florida cities. What makes a city? What is a city? Why do we have them? So the how and the why of city government. Interesting facts about Florida cities, maybe the smallest population city to the largest population, the smallest area to the largest area. So we'll have maps for them to kind of identify maybe where they live in their city. So it brings that interesting component. So it makes them connect instantly that, wow, I live in a city, and these are all the services that my city provides for me. In addition, they're going to talk about how the city operates, how at an overview level, not down in the minutia quite so much, but maybe funding and governance of how a city operates. And then lastly, how to get involved with the city, which is something that we really don't do until we get older, maybe, outside of sports leagues. But actually, if you want to make a difference in your community, these 7th graders are going to learn, how can I get involved?
And just listening to what you shared brings up 2 points. Number one, we have many of our council members in our classrooms, and it provides another glimpse as to really the innovations that are going on in education right now. And one of the things that we really want to do is invite our public to take a closer look. Take a closer look at what is going on in our public school system, and you're really going to like what you see. So many times we let other people tell our story, and we don't really get to hear the great things that our children are doing, learning, and moving and shaking on. Just as you all are talking about being concerned about a problem in their community and having the resources to address it. So that's fantastic, and things definitely have changed since you and I have been in school. Kate, you're a teeny bit younger, but I think it's changed for you as well. With the Florida League of Cities behind this as a sponsor, I know that offers greater opportunities for resources to come into our schools. You've talked about the human element, that primary resource that children can reach out to. Are there other things that we have access to based on the fact that this is an initiative that is supported by really state level individuals?
Yeah, the Florida League of Cities, they reach out to mayors, council members, and city management with a whole array of information, a teacher manual and booklet that actually has lessons planned out for the teachers, so that if there wasn't such a thing as a Project Citizen, any teacher could take that off the shelf and instantly begin implementing lesson plans from that curriculum guide. And so I'm actually interested to see what some of the students come up with as questions or as potential problems and what they would do to address them, because a lot of times, we do deal with complex issues with city government and obviously with school government as well. But sometimes a simple solution may be right there that we didn't expect. So who knows? Who knows what will come out of it?
We are all waiting with bated breath. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. And Kate, you work with our social studies lead teachers at each of our schools and do such a fine job of really helping to direct the resources so that they are aligned with our standards, so that it's very appropriate what is being taught and has that significant connection. Are there things that you and your team of social studies coaches are currently working on to help guide the use of these resources?
Well, with any new resource, we always look to see, is it hitting our state standards? Because every course has standards that are aligned to it. We look deeply at the intent of the standards. Our 7th graders actually take for the first time an end of course exam for social studies, the first time. And so we look deeply to see, are these resources going to benefit our students, and make a decision that way. So we'll look at curriculum, we'll look at different resources available and see, is this best for our students? I'm loving our partnership now with this project of having our community come into our schools, because we have civics in practice standards, holding mock elections, holding mock trials, doing a service project, really getting to interact with what they will be interacting with when they become of legal age. And I think it's a fantastic opportunity for us.
I think it will give our students an opportunity to see more of the employment opportunities
Yes.
too, because our job is to make sure that our students leave us college and career ready.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times, growing up, you hear the kids, they want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a firefighter, maybe a police officer, but there's a need for garbage men, for utility workers, for public works, budget, procurement, all those types of things are involved in city government. And so there's so many opportunities right here in their backyard that they can start, gearing their minds for as they go into high school and hopefully college.
A lot of people don't connect those services to our city governments. It just is something that happens. And things don't just happen. They are well planned, they are thoughtful, and we can have our students working to be part of the solution for our future through this initiative and many, many others. It's fantastic. And you mentioned that this is the first year, and you're so excited about what's happening now. So I'm sure as we move through this, you all are both taking copious notes on what's next and how to move forward to make this bigger and better next year, and how to grow this, because my past experience has always been that we will light a fire and start something, and then it just continues to grow in that blaze of enthusiasm.
And I think it's not just our 7th graders. I believe our elementary has an opportunity to get involved as well.
Yes, we've got 2 different schools that are doing poster projects. Maybe it's a poster contest, but yeah, those posters will be collected and they'll be displayed at City Hall. So that's another segue into what we're going to talk about next, what I want to talk about next, which is we're having 2 sessions for the general public, adults, children, or what have you, to come into City Hall, to sit in the council chambers, and to get a quick overview of pretty much every city department. All the major departments are going to come in these 2-hour blocks, and they're going to give 5-10-minute presentations about public works, about police, fire services, EMS, those types of things. So that's going to be just another opportunity to extend this message to not just 7th graders or 2nd graders in the case of Windmill Point Elementary, but to anyone who can come to these 2 sessions.
And what day will that be?
October 20th.
Okay.
We've got 2 sessions. One is at 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m., and then the other session is from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. And I want to say that all this was backed, this initiative was started by Councilwoman Shannon Martin. I believe she went to a Florida League of Cities, or she's a member, went to the Florida League of Cities conference or meetings, and then brought this home to us. So this is the first time that I recall ever doing anything like this, and so I'd like to thank her for that initiative, because I think this is fantastic.
And that's a message that we can send to our students as well, because the power of one is significant. And in the same way that our councilwoman brought this back as a single person, and she has expanded it out, the same thing is true for our students. If a student has an idea, if a student has a thought or a concern on the way to make our community a better place, the power of one is significant. And I also know that, just like learning, nothing takes place in isolation. So while we are impacting our 7th grade social studies classrooms and our 2nd grade classes with this, it is certainly something that is interdisciplinary in nature, and it spreads to other content areas. Can you talk to me about some of the ways in which it is spreading or has the potential to spread?
Well, we've been working a lot with our elementary literacy curriculum. We are blending our social studies curriculum and our science curriculum with our literacy routines and our standards so that there's consistent learning across the board. We're bringing that civic education, that historical education from the very beginning so that it's continuing as we go, and throughout middle and high school, we've worked together to align their stories that they're reading, the documents they're looking at and analyzing, so that's not just in the social studies classroom, but it is also in their literacy. And social studies can be anywhere. We can look at the history of things in science, we can look at maps and charts and graphs and math. We can always blend with all the other content areas, which is such a great thing.
And with displays that we have in our public arenas, others can benefit from that as well. So the display of some of the things that are taking place, you said that would be at our civic
Or City Hall at the council chambers.
Okay.
Yeah, when I reached out to Kate, I said, we've got this opportunity here, and we're going to start small with it because we want to do it well. I mean, there's a whole plethora of different activities and things that we could do, but this is being the first time. So let's take something and let's do it right, and then see where we can go from there. So yeah, the posters will be displayed. The public will come in to the council chambers. We have free cookies available for those who need a reason to come. So come for the cookies if nothing else. And for those that can't come, it'll be video recorded for playback on the city's government access channel, and I'm sure we could also extend that to the school district for playback on your channel as well.
That would be fantastic, because we really do take seriously the opportunity to share what is going on in our community. And so we've got opportunities on our own social media networks and our own webpage in which we can certainly partner with that. The more we can work together to spread the word, the better. And also, as we look at what our children are doing in the classrooms and what they will be doing in the classrooms, we know that significant opportunities for them to research, present information, share it with others, and then get feedback from community members as well as teachers exists in our history fair and other competitions. Can you share some information on that and how we can tie this in?
Absolutely. So in January and February, we're going to have our district level competitions. January 22nd will be our Project Citizen District Showcase, where we will have classes from across the district coming in to share what they've learned, what they've researched about public policy, and the issues that they have been delving deep within. So we will need community members to help come out, to take a look at our projects, to be judges, as well as for our history fair, which is a 6th through 12th grade project where students research on a variety of different topics. This year it's encounter, exchange, and exploration in history. So they will be looking to see what kind of connections we have, especially connections to Florida. So again, they'll be able to showcase their best work, and those two projects we will send as representatives of our district to the state level competitions, usually in May. Now, there's lots of projects for our kids, so we are always looking for community members to come out and support by giving feedback to our students, by judging, trying to get them to see how they can improve their projects and what they've done really well so far. So service community or service organizations, local politicians, leaders in our community are always welcome to email me and find a way that we can work together to get that feedback for our kids.
Well, I know that you are always very grateful for people reaching out. So if someone were to have an inkling of, I would really like to explore this and be a part of that, how could they contact you?
The best way is to contact me by email, telling me who they are, how they want to help. My email is kathleen.ems@stlucieschools.org, and I will be able to get back with them to see exactly what the needs are and how they can help us.
And since we're talking about contact information, if someone's interested in reaching out to you to find out more about opportunities to learn about city government during this week and beyond, how would they get a hold of you?
Okay, I'll give a couple different email addresses. The primary one for the city is info@cityofpsl.com. That will go to our main communications department, and then that will get routed to a particular person to handle. who's most likely to follow up on the issue, or to contact me directly. It's carmenc@cityofpsl.com.
Okay, so very easy, and technology makes it a breeze.
Yes.
All right. As we look forward to continued work together, do you all see some springboards for the future as far as what we're doing now and what we have the potential to do together?
Absolutely. We can definitely broaden what we're doing outside of the 2nd and 7th grade classrooms, bring more into those primary and middle grades, as well as our high schoolers as they're getting ready to become active participants in our community.
And have you seen a difference? And this is something that may not be fair for me to ask right now, but let me just go ahead and pose this. Do you see a difference in the way our community members are communicating with our city government as far as outreach, as far as receiving information and sending information?
Yeah, absolutely. Social media is the craze. I think it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So the city's website is a portal of information, as is our Facebook page and our Twitter handle. But yeah, I like to tell people, get your information directly from the source. Come to the city. There's all these great things that we're doing. You've got professionals who know what they're talking about, who've been here a long time, who can help you with any question or situation that you have. So use the city as your primary source of information, and people do it. People get engaged with us all the time. Port St. Lucie, for being such a big city, I don't know if people know this, but we're the 9th largest city in the state of Florida, but you still get a hometown feel. You don't feel like you're in this big metropolis city, but you are. So we still are connected to the community. You'll always get help if you contact the city, and it's just a great place to be.
And a lot of our conversation today has been very one-sided. What can our community do to volunteer and be supportive of our schools? But the reverse is so very true and important, because as our students become leaders in their community, they need to reach out and find ways in which they can be service-oriented. And for our high schoolers especially, community service hours are very important as they look toward graduation and potential scholarships for the future. And I know you and I had an opportunity a couple of years ago to work on a service project through the Chamber of Commerce. And there's so many opportunities. If a student is listening, what type of opportunities are available for them to volunteer in our city government?
It would depend on their age. We've got programs such as our Keep Port St. Lucie Beautiful program that has everything from litter removal, which is part of our Adopt a Street program for children with adult supervision, obviously. So you can get involved picking up trash, cleaning your community. That's instantly connecting with a sense of pride and ownership of your neighborhood, of your street, or of your block. So that's a great way to get out as a family and do something together, and also give back to your community. So you can volunteer that way. The city has a great volunteer program. It's administered by our Parks and Rec department, where you can come in and volunteer in the office, if there's a need. So there's a whole application process, and then it was just like getting a job. So if somebody has never actually gone to a job interview and is interested in volunteering, you'd fill out an application just like you normally would. You would go through an interview, and then if you're a good fit for the volunteer opportunity, you'd even go through the background screening as well. So that would, I would say, probably for the teenagers, 16 probably to 18-year-old range. But yeah, there's always opportunities. The city's always looking for help. We have a new community garden that is going to be run in part by volunteers as well. So there's all these projects, there's all these different great things going on, and the more volunteers we have, the more we can do.
And we did an earlier segment this month about Lights On After School, and all of the different programs that are available before school, after school, on the weekends. We need mentors, we need tutors, we need people there to give coaching tips and give feedback. And when I say coaching, I'm not just talking about sporting events. If someone's learning to play the piano, if someone is involved in a beautification project, there's all types of coaching that take place on making sure that we get involved and we do things correctly. So students definitely do have such an opportunity to be a part of their community. You mentioned taking pride in the community. And we all live here. We want to live, we want to learn, we want to grow, and we want to play here and be very proud of what it is that we do in St. Lucie County. We have just a couple of moments remaining. Do either one of you have any closing remarks that you would like to share with our viewing audience?
I am just so ecstatic about this partnership because K-12 civic education is so important, and it's going beyond. It's bringing that education to the entire community. And the more we learn about our local governments, the more we can learn about our state and national governments, the more active participants we have, it's just going to keep compounding and make our nation such a better place. So I'm very excited with what we're doing in our county.
To add to that, I mean, this is the first time for us in this partnership, so I can't wait to see what comments we're going to have back from our city council members on the feedback that they received and ways that we can improve the program. So I'm sure the students are going to bring a lot to this. I know our mayor and city council are going to bring a lot to this. So it's going to grow. I'm ecstatic about it as well because, like I said, I didn't get this opportunity growing up, and I'm just happy to see that we were able to make it happen.
Outstanding. What a great partnership, and looking forward to it growing tighter and more productive over the years. So again, thank you so much for reaching out to St. Lucie Public Schools.
Yes, my pleasure.
Kate, thank you for being so willing to partner with our city government. And for our viewing audience at home, we invite you to please stay in tune to what is going on in your St. Lucie Public Schools. How can you do that? Utilize our social media networks. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we have a website, and we have a LinkedIn site. We try to make sure that it is populated with current events, and certainly you'll be able to see what our children are doing during City Government Week this October. Thank you for joining today.